all set for the feature race of the week. And they jump away, and straight glide pushed away is Qirat to go forward, but Serengeti did not go forward and is held up. So Qirat is handed an uncontested lead. Henri Matisse and Rosalian, Field of Gold, is happy to drop on their backs, and now Serengeti is moving right around the outside of the field. Settled at the back, Carl Spackler and Dockland. So it's Qirat intent, it would appear, on setting an even pace, and Serengeti moving forward on the outside. Henri Matisse has now moved through into third as they've just opened up a little bit of track position over Rosalian and Field of Gold. It was just asked briefly to move a little closer as Serengeti eyeballs the other pacemaker, and you could see Richard Kingscote having a look behind to see the gap between the front two, and Henri Matisse, who is third, Rosalian and Field of Gold, who's tracking the two chief market rivals as Serengeti tries to break the race apart. Docklands and Carl Spackler as they make their way running downhill. So Serengeti out in the lead with Qirat. Henri Matisse, the yellow colours of Rosalian, Field of Gold, just angled out towards the outside with Docklands, and they still have 7 lengths to find on Serengeti and Qirat, who are making their way down towards the final 3 furlongs, still with a gap between themselves and the rest of the field. And Henri Matisse is being ridden along and pulled towards the outside is Field of Gold. Rosalian is the one that's closing them down fastest. Serengeti and Qirat, Rosalian, Field of Gold hanging in behind, then Henri Matisse, and it's Qirat who's hit the lead. Rosalian running down the leader. On the inside is Henri Matisse. Qirat trying to hold off Rosalian. Qirat has stolen the Sussex daylight robbery for Richard Kingscote and Beckett. Rosalian in second place, Henri Matisse. Field of Gold never fired, and behind those towards the back was Docklands and Carl Spackler. Qirat will be one of the longest priced Group 1 winners in history, beating Rosalian by a neck, who was the only one to really make that much inroads into the leader. Henri Matisse in third. Field of Gold just never really fired. He couldn't even get past the other two, having sat with them in the run. Then Docklands, Carl Spackler and Serengeti. A stunned silence descends, a hubbub of disbelief in the Sussex. It is the Juddmonte winner, but not Field of Gold. It's the Field of Dreams for Qirat.
I mean, that is extraordinary. There is a stunned silence around Goodwood. Qirat, the gelding, at 150 to 1, has won the Visit Qatar Sussex Stakes. Jason Weaver, try and make sense of that.
The only cheer at Goodwood was from the bookmakers in the front of the stand. There is no way you could have had a horse rated 102, but he's been allowed, or the front two were allowed, to get away from the rest of the field. So Ryan was positioned, I think, in third on the way round. Rosalian has gone forward, but they've given too much leeway to him. Francesca was telling me that Qirat is now unbeaten here at Goodwood.
Well, he has a great record here at Goodwood, albeit in lesser races before this one. But it's kind of what we were talking about before the race. I mean, the other pacemaker, Serengeti, missed the break, was rushed up to go and join Qirat. Qirat led. Obviously, the fact that he's held on suggested he didn't go at breakneck speed. Why were the other...
Well, hold on a minute. So we quite clearly think that the best horses at the moment have finished second, third and fourth, maybe. That's the way the race has been. Or second and third.
Unless
at least
Qirat's,
they've gone and attacked.
Unless
Qirat
improved out
he
of
can't
sight.
have improved 25 pounds in one run.
So is the question... I know we shouldn't really be ignoring the fact that Qirat has won, but obviously the talking point is what happened to the bigger guns. Why did they give him such rope?
Well, no. There has to be a question regarding how much rope they've given to the Derby-winning rider.
Quite extraordinary scenes. Quite extraordinary. You remember 1991 in the Queen Elizabeth II Stakes? Maroof was the pacemaker for Metcalfe and made all the running famously, and they just couldn't reel in Maroof, and they've done it again here with Qirat. Quite extraordinary. And for Richard Kingscote, who I don't think has had a winner at Glorious Goodwood since 2015, 10 years in the wilderness here, you are back with a bang. Great Britain's loss will soon be Hong Kong's gain. Well done, Rich.
It's turning into a cracking year, isn't it, Matt?
Absolute belter for the Derby hero. So, tell me, this was the plan? Go off in front, steal it. You always thought you were on the best horse, and you thought you'd had Field of Gold covered throughout.
Look, ultimately we were there as a helping hand to go an even gallop. We were somewhat ignored early, then took a lead off Wayne. The horse likes the track, and you know, Rafe said even though we're here to help, he can do his best.
As a rider, Richard, can you honestly just tell us how you actually feel at this minute? Like, do you feel a hero, or is there an element of you feel an absolute villain?
Oh, I feel like a villain, but you know, when I seen it wasn't a grey nose coming towards me, I just kept whopping.
Yeah. And this will mean much. Rafe Beckett has been a big part of your life now since Sir Michael Stout retired. I mean, just before you go to Hong Kong, you'll be delighted to reward him with this victory, however odd it seems.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm delighted. Rafe's been a staple of my career for probably 15 years now, so he's provided me a lot of winners, and a big winner, you know, fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot you can say because you're just feeling incredibly guilty, aren't you?
No, I'm not really. It's fine.
You have just won the Sussex Stakes, but more importantly, tomorrow you go to the Racing League for my team.
And back down to earth. What a bizarre race. Comical mess in many ways, but 150 to 1 winner. We'll try and confirm. I'm sure Tanya Stevenson will be in the history books trying to find out. That's the biggest prize winner of a Group 1 ever. I'm sure someone will let us know as well. Rosalien second, 11 to 2. Henri Matisse was third. Field of Gold at 1 to 3. No, just wait, Jason. Just wait, because let's focus on the winner and give him some credit first. We need to credit Richard Kingscote here because he's done an absolutely amazing job, hasn't he?
So he's stolen the Group 1 honours, the Jewel on the Downs as it's been billed on so many occasions. And look, listen, you're £25 inferior on an official rating, and he has just stolen it, 599,000.
The amount of people that have walked past us just shrugging their shoulders saying what on earth just happened. Right, Jason, we've credited the winner, full marks to Richard Kingscote. What were you going to say about the other jockeys?
Well, I was going to say